Just past 6:20, and it's time to take a look at your money. Now, on February 28th, President Trump and Israel launched a joint military campaign against Iran, targeting its leadership, nuclear facilities, and military infrastructure. In response, Iran has effectively shut down the Strait of Hormuz, which is a critical waterway for the transportation of crude oil out of the Middle East.
The shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz has sent the price of crude oil soaring. Over the past few weeks, the price for a gallon of crude oil has risen by 48%.
And we're joined today by financial advisor Mark Grivachevsky, live to break it down. Good morning, Mark.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Good to be back. Battling a little bit of a head cold. My head feels kind of like one of those things where it weighs 50 pounds. This morning, tie your shoelaces, you feel like you're going to topple over. But it's good to be back in the studio again with you.
Yeah, we missed you.
Yeah, all right, let's get to our topic. Explain a bit more about the Strait of Hormuz and also the importance of the waterway.
Yeah. Well, the Strait of Hormuz is this narrow strip of waterway that lies between Iran to the north and the United Arab Emirates to the south, that serves as this key maritime passage for goods shipped from the Middle East destined to other parts of the world. And obviously one of the major goods shipped from the Middle East is crude oil. The Middle East region delivers about 30% of the world's total crude oil production. Saudi Arabia itself is the world's third largest country producing crude oil. But you also have Iran, Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, as other major oil producing countries within the region. 25% of the world's total crude oil produced each year passes through that narrow strip of waterway we call the Strait of Hormuz. So yes, obviously without question, the Strait of Hormuz plays this crucial role within the global petroleum industry.
Yeah. So how is Iran disrupting the flow of oil, of the traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, and why are they doing that?
Well, the military actions by both the U.S. and Israel, look, they've absolutely decimated Iran, and really all Iran can really do now is to try to disrupt that flow of crude oil through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran knows this will send global crude oil prices soaring, and it's kind of their last-ditch effort, so to speak, to try to impact both the U.S. and the global economies. Iran is using drone attacks, naval mines, missile threats, among many other tactics, again, to try to turn this narrow stretch of waterway into kind of like a war zone choke point. And many shipping companies are now avoiding that area because of the high risk of danger to both their ships and their crews.
And what impact are we seeing so far here in the U.S., and just how long might this disruption continue with the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, we need to remember, crude oil here in America is our #1 source of energy. In fact, crude oil delivers about 38% of our nation's entire energy consumption. From that single barrel of crude oil, we get gasoline, we get diesel fuel, we get jet fuel used in airplanes, heating oil, and many other products. And over the past couple of weeks, the price of crude oil and gasoline has risen anywhere from 30 to 50%. Now, to kind of get to that big question, how long this will last, it's kind of impossible to really guess how long Iran will continue to disrupt that Strait of Hormuz. But, based on what analysts are saying, they are kind of guesstimating that the regime is in its final days and on the brink of collapse. And once that Strait of Hormuz reopens to the flow of goods and cargo and crude oil, we should see gasoline and crude oil prices start to fall back down again.
A lot to take out of this, but something we should keep following.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you so much for joining us today, breaking this down for us so we can kind of understand a little bit more about what's going on out there.
Great to be back in the studio.
Yes.
Despite the head cold, great to see both of you again.
It's going around everywhere.
I know.
Exactly.
It's winter, snow, head colds.
We're almost
Part of
done.
the game.
Almost done, though.
Yep.
Spring's on the way, right? All right. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you,
It's
Mark.
just about 6:30. We'll be right back.